Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Today is Monday, November 13th, 2017. I was sitting there thinking about it today. I'm like, we're 5 weeks away from the winter solstice, and then the days start getting longer again, so that's a very good thing. But we're in for some interesting weather between now and, let's say, March. So we shall see how it goes. I got my Yankees mug here with my tea and got the little fire going. So I thought we'd sit down and do a fireside tea chat. And I was, one of the things that I gave you the tour of the house yesterday and, what we've done so far. And like I said, there's a long way to go. Basically finishing up the inside of it and stuff like that. But there, like I said, there's still more work to do, and but that will get there. It just takes time. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday or the day before, and I get a lot. Well, what happens if nothing ever happens? Well, let's say there's no SHTF event, okay? How do you feel about that? And I said, I have a great property. I'm trying to be as independent as I possibly can be, and I will get there. And, in 10 years from now, if nothing ever happens, this place will be completely squared away. I will have no bills as far as the property goes. And so, that's not a bad thing. And then, I'm that much closer to retirement at that point, and, we got to look towards our retirements. A lot of people, and this is kind of where the conversation ended up going, a lot of people live for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't even think about tomorrow. And, so a lot of people, they'll do their 401k and those type of things, but that's paper. That's on paper. That can disappear in a heartbeat. If they end up crashing the market, all that money that you've saved and scrimped and put away, it won't mean anything, and so the having a game plan for your future, thinking ahead, 10, 15, 20 years or whatever the case may be, and if you're young, have a game plan, put yourself in a situation so that by the time you're 35, 40 years old, that you are not indebted, have this huge mortgage, those type of things. Get a game plan in place and look, where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be in 1 year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Get a game plan and start working towards those goals. I mean, that's the biggest thing, I think, for anybody that I would say. We've been here a little over 2 years now, almost 2.5 already. It's going by real fast. But, so, we had a game plan. When we first got up here, and I'll never forget this, I talked to the kids and I told them, I said, just so you know, this first couple of weeks that we're up here is going to suck. And it did. I mean, we didn't have internet for probably 4 or 5 days. I think it was something like that. Maybe it was 4 days, but and the kids were like bouncing. They were going crazy with that, and then just trying to get everything set up and get things taken care of and try to get things in place, and it was a huge adjustment on top of it. We went from a 1,912 square foot house down to a 37-foot camper, So that was a huge adjustment, and then we went from suburbia out into the country. But the thing is, you have to have a vision. You have to look at something and say, like when we looked at this property, it was a piece of crap, okay? But I looked at it and I said, I see the potential of what this property could be. And so that was when we started to, we bought it obviously and started working on that vision. And, it all takes time. And, when you're working and you're trying to get things done and everything else, it's, you have to prioritize what's the most important thing now. And the biggest thing I would suggest to anybody that's going to do this lifestyle, and if you have children, definitely get your children's input, because your priority may not be their priority. Saying, okay, what I do like every spring is I sit down with them and I said, okay, what's the one thing that you want more of now than anything else? And actually the last 2 years it's been the same exact thing, more power. And so, we're working towards those goals, and we're gonna get there. I mean, we'll add more solar again in the spring when I get my return, and and we'll just keep working at it. And that's how you got to do it. You put a game plan in place and you do what you have to do. But what you have to look at, project out, where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, and in 20 years, and start working towards those goals. And the thing is, none of us are going to work forever, and you never know when a health issue is going to arise. And you never know, you can say, oh yeah, well, I've been working this many hours for so many years, I can just keep doing it. Well, that's not realistic, okay? You have to have a game plan in place where you can say, okay, if I lost my job tomorrow, how long can we survive, without having to worry about losing everything that we have, And realistically, if you, have that mortgage payment, or even if you're a renter, okay, you don't pay your rent for a couple of months, you're going to be out the door. They don't care, okay? So having a game plan in place and putting yourself in a position, in a situation where they can't kick you out. If it's yours and you own it, and basically you have to pay your property tax and your school taxes every year, as long as you can come up with that money twice a year, they can't kick you off your property. So, those are nice things to have, in getting things in place and making it's here's the thing is, it's like, when people have a misconception about being off grid. They think that you live in a shack and you have no power and you have no running water and all those type of things. And what I tried to explain to people was, listen, yes, I live off grid, but I want everything that everybody else wants. I just don't want to have to pay somebody else to get it. And so, like if you don't pay your gas and electric bill, they will come and they will shut you off. Well, there's nobody going to shut us off up here because, like I said, we're off grid. So, we have our own solar system and we create our own power. And yes, we do have a backup generator, so as long as the generator's working and I can buy gasoline, for the winter months for right now, we're okay. But the thing is, it's like the long-term goal for us is to have it so that we don't have to use that generator at all, that we just strictly go off our solar and have a big enough system that it doesn't matter what time of year it is, that we're going to produce enough power to do what we need to do. And so, like I said, you have to have goals, you have to sit down, you have to plan things out, but the important thing is to remember is to sit down, write it out. Where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? And start making that happen. Because I'm going to tell you what, guys, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm 52 years old, okay? And I blinked my eyes, and the next thing I know, 20 years was gone. And I went, holy crap, where did 20 years go? But it goes by really, really fast. And something that my grandmother told me when I was a child, and at the time you don't think about it because everything lasts forever. I was about 12 years old. And she used to tell me, she said, Ed, getting old sucks. She said, everybody you love and care for dies, and the time goes fast. It goes faster the older you get. And at the time I'm thinking, well, God, the summers last forever and everything else. Well, as I've gotten older, that time does go fast. And it is amazing how the years are flying by. Now, here's something else I want you guys to think about, okay? And I've seen this happen over and over again because of the fact that I'm in the medical field and profession. I see people that save their whole life for retirement. And so they don't take those vacations, and they don't do this, and they don't do that, and they don't go anywhere. And they just save. And then medical health issues come up, and the next thing you know, they're in a nursing home in their old age, And that nursing home is sucking every dime that they ever saved all those years for, you know, and their golden years are not golden because of the health issues and stuff like that. So that's something to think about too, you know. Enjoy your life. That is so, so important, and I will say that all the time. You know, life is so short, and that's why I always tell you guys, life is too short to be unhappy, because it really, truly is. And, you know, we should enjoy our lives. Not to an extreme and not being stupid, obviously, but you still need to have those vacations, and you still need to do things, and you know, and like I said, it's important to spend that time with family and the people that you care about. So I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk about that, and talk to you guys about, you know, having a game plan. Having a lot of money in the bank, that's not always going to do it, because that's not guaranteed to stay there. You know, if you have a property that's paid for, that you own outright, that you have, you know, your house or your buildings or whatever you have on it that are paid for, and, you know, people can't come and take them away if they're taken care of. You know what I mean? If you've got your stuff squared away. So have a game plan. Figure out what you want to do. Look at how many years away from retirement are you? I mean, for me, retirement age is 67. That's 15 years. That's not a whole lot of time. 15 years is going to go by really, really fast. So, you know, I have to look at putting myself in a position within inside of 15 years that if I had to just live off of Social Security, I could. Okay? And, you know, but I just, that's, you know, having that plan in place, and try to be as self-sufficient as you possibly can be. If something happens at SHTF or not, it's just smart to do. It just really, really is, because I'm telling you guys, that time is going to fly. It really is. Especially for my younger viewers, the time is going to go by in a blink of an eye. And my older subscribers know exactly what I'm talking about. I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Please share, tell me what you think. You know, and so today was a very overcast day here at the homestead too. And it was probably 39 degrees out, I believe. So not a absolutely warm day, but we got some solar in it. I think we brought in a little over 1 kilowatt hour today, just because it was so overcast. And but those things happen. So anyway, guys, listen. Remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, STD. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to work towards, whatever your goals are, you can reach them. Okay? The only one that's going to stop you from doing it is yourself. You're the only one that's going to stop you. And life is way too short to be unhappy. If you are unhappy, change your situation. Really, you will be much happier in life. Okay? I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. I hope you all have a great day. I hope your work week has started well. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.